All right, all right. What's up, y'all? Thank you for coming. If you want to show your face, I love it. If you want to put in the chat where you're calling in from, do so. Do city, state, country, and let me know where you're at in your motherhood transition journey. Are you 4 weeks postpartum? Are you 12 weeks postpartum? Are you 6 weeks pregnant? Are you trying to conceive? I would love to hear all of that. So let me know in the chat box where you're calling in from and where you are in your motherhood transition journey. Awesome. 18 weeks postpartum. Sweet. Cache Valley. I know exactly where that is. We've got awesome resources out there. I forget how far you are from Logan, Utah, but Jess Brown is a phenomenal BIRTHFIT coach. She's out in Utah. Austin, Texas. Yeah, heck yeah. Welcome, Amanda. Way to show up. 10 weeks postpartum. Lincoln, Rhode Island, 1 year postpartum. Also going through the BIRTHFIT coach course. Amazing. Love that. I love that you're here and you're getting in on this training session. Okay, so basically I'm going to coach y'all through this. And, if you are, let me see, they're pretty good. Okay, so if you want to follow along, let's do it. If you have any questions, you can throw them in the chat box, or if you don't want to like stop moving or come over and type during the thing, you can totally save that till later. I'm going to try to be super efficient with time and get us done with this with at least 5 to 10 minutes left in the hour so that we can ask questions. Also, I wanted to share before we dive in, if you look on the BIRTHFIT Instagram profile, I shared this sample day, and it's literally screenshots from our app. So I wanted you to see what that looks like. Oh, so I'm going to pull that up because I want you to see that, since we can't do a what do you call it? A screen recording. BIRTHFIT Postpartum Training. So this is what our app looks like. Those are all the programs, but here's the postpartum training. So if you're inside the app, you literally, this is what it looks like. Beep. And then let's say what we're going to do today is week 2. So I'm going to click on week 2, and there's each day, day 1, day 2, day 3, and then the active recovery, day 4. So we're going to click on day 2, and you get about 4 videos for each day. And all the videos are less than 5 minutes. And we've got Coach Leah being the beautiful model. So it's like phenomenal how user-friendly this app experience is. So if you have questions, all you got to do is go into the app. There's the warm-up, hit the video, and she nails all of it. So I want you to know that user experience is amazing. People love it. Women that have gone through our OG programs and now this, they love the app experience. So let's get rolling. I wanted to share that in case you feel like I'm going a little fast, that it's there. And we're gonna have a big sale on all of our programs starting next Thursday, running through July 6th. So it's a big 4th of July sale, and all programs will be 30% off. So anyways, let's get moving. This is the postpartum training, week 2, day 1. And we're going to we're going to do 2 rounds. I wrote it on the board back there, but I don't think you can see it. We've got shoulder range of motion. We're going to do 1 on each side. We've got side plank options, 5 on each side. We got tabletop to bear, 5 total, and 8 on each side, groiners. I call them hip groiners. Groiners. So let's get moving on that. We'll step back. Hopefully you can hear me. All right, shoulder range of motion. Make sure your feet are right under your hips. You got nice soft knees. Rib rib cage is stacked on top of your pelvis. Everything else is still. Pick one arm to start with, and all you're focused on is moving this shoulder joint. So you got a pizza in your hand, and you're gonna reach, I like this, somebody's pulling this arm out, reach as far as you can, up and out, reach, 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 and then when you feel like you hit a brick wall, you're gonna turn your hand, and now you're gonna go thumb down, and go all the way, now it's pinky down, all the way back. And then you're gonna go back the same way you came. So it looks like this. I'm gonna demo, and then I'm gonna have you do it. All right, so I want you to do one arm right now, and I'm gonna do the other arm in just a second. So we're gonna do that kind of flow there. So as you're doing it, I want you to breathe. I want you to make sure your rib cage is stacked on top of your pelvis, nice soft knees, and all you're focused on is moving that shoulder joint. And it should feel like you're moving through cement. All right, shake it out. We got the other side. So do the other side with me. Find that nice neutral spine posture, right? So rib cage stacked on top of pelvis. Let's go. Reach, 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 reach. Oh, I hit a brick wall. Notice that's my brick wall. Because when I start to reach even more, I don't want to have that open alligator mouth. Open alligator mouth meaning rib cage and pelvis opening there. So now, whoop, bring that back down, hit that brick wall, and now I turn that thumb down, and I'm still reaching, reaching, reaching. Woo! And now I go back the same way I came. Crunchies are okay. Woo. All right, so now we got mega blood flow happening in the shoulder space. Love it. Y'all, that stuff is so good to do early postpartum. All right, side plank options. I'm going to show you 3 options, and then I'm going to tell you 1, 2, 3, let's go. All right, so side plank options. You can do this. Elbow lined up with your hip. Find that nice neutral spine posture at about a 45-degree angle. And if you're newer postpartum, let's say 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 5 weeks, this might be what your jam is today. If you're a little further along, and you can breathe in and up, you're doing a little hip drive. So you may want to coordinate that with your breath. Breathe in and exhale as you lift up and lower back down. Or option 3, the most advanced option we'll do in this segment here today, in this moment. Breathe in, on the exhale, lift up, tap your foot, bring it back down, and lower down. So you pick what option you want to do. Make sure you do it on both sides. And we're going to go 5 on each side. Ready, set, and go. 2. There's 1. And 2. You want a nice relaxed hand here. And 3. Make sure this elbow is pressing into the ground. You're not sinking into that shoulder. Here's 4. And 5. And then push yourself up to an oblique sit. Switch sides. You got that bonus oblique sit in there. Find the other side and get your 5 reps in. This will be 3. This will be 4. And 5. If you are rewatching the recording or you're watching the recording for the first time, feel free to pause this. Totally fine. There's no urgency. All right, now we got tabletop to bear. So in the beginning, like this little warm-up section is our conversation with our body. This is where we employ the BIRTHFIT basics. And within the postpartum training, we're starting to introduce other movements as well. So tabletop, knees right under your hips, wrists right under your shoulders, curl your toes, and we're going to lift back into a high bear. Boom. Lift up your knees 2 inches. I like to give that little pause there. And then send your booty back for a high bear. It's different than a downward dog because you got about 60% of your weight in your legs, 40% in your hands, and the focus is on that neutral spine. And then bring it back down. All right, so you got the idea? We got 5 total. Make sure you're breathing. So I'm trying to exhale throughout the movement. We got 2 more. Think about long exhales, hugging your belly. And I'm pretty sure that's 5. Y'all, if you know me, you know I lose count. All right, so these are going to be our groiners for today. Start in a plank position. Bring one leg up. Bring that knee to the ground. It's a nice hip flexor stretch. And if you want to do a little bonus, reach up, totally fine. We got 8 on each leg. So we're really opening up that hip space, those hip flexes. So 16 total. That's what it looks like. No arm action. There's 4, 5, 6. I forgot to tell you to go. Sorry about that. 7. Hopefully you're going. 8. Halfway there. 9. 10. Be sure your plank is not saggy. 11. Saggy planks look like this. 11. This will be 12. I'm going to do some arm action for the last ones. 13. 14. 15. You go like this. And 16. Whew. All right. So let me remind you, 1 and 1 shoulder range of motion. 5 on each side, side plank options. 5 tabletop to bear. And then 16 total, 8 per side, groiners. We're going to go through that one more time. So we got 2 total. And I'll take off this baggy shirt. Because some people request, timer. Some people request the breathing demo stuff. All right, we ready? Shoulder range of motion. 1 on each side. With this, try to breathe through your nose only. Inhale and exhale through your nose. And I normally don't work out with the garage door shut. We're moving on to side plank options. So I'm going to do a different one this time. Yeah, it's just loud and I want you to be able to hear me. 2. So I'm inhaling, expanding my rib cage 360 degrees. And then on my exhale, I'm trying to maintain that expansion I got, or different cues work for different people. I'm thinking about hugging my belly from hip bones all the way up to my rib cage. One more. And that's nice and solid. All right, tabletop to bear. You got 5. All right, we've got 8 and 8 groiners. Plank position. 1, 2. All right, find your flow. I'm on 10, just so y'all know where I'm at. Last one on each side. All right. I just want to point out 2 things here. During the entire postpartum training, I want you to think about or prioritize breathing in and out through your nose. This is almost like free or bonus fitness games, cardiovascular fitness games, right? Because we're not running just yet. We're building a solid base. We're not really doing high intensity interval training. We're building a solid base. So if you can prioritize that, like you hear me, like I'm out of breath a little bit. Like I promise you, you will get bonus fitness gains. The other thing I want to point out is when doing planks. Like I see people do this all the time and it bugs the hell out of me. They either sag in their shoulders, right? They're like this, or they sag in their hips. A plank, you're actively pressing the ground away through your hands and your spine. Think about it, you want it pressing through your skin in the back. And then right here, no sagging. You're literally like trying to maintain that neutral spine, almost like a pelvic tilt, but you're still hugging your belly on the exhales. All right, that's good. That's our warm up. All right, I know you can't see this board, but the next portion, we've got 3 rounds. We're starting to build some strength here. So I want you to grab a set of dumbbells that you can, let's say, maybe squat with, but we're not going to squat, but you could squat with like 10 times pretty comfortably. We're going to do some Romanian deadlifts with the dumbbells. So grab a set. I'm going to use these 20s because I actually can't find anything else, but that's what we're going to use. So you're going to use these for RDLs and a farmer's carry. So I'm going to demo the RDLs. I'm going to demo everything and then we're going to get going because we got 3 rounds. So dumbbells, for those newbies out there, dumbbells start on the ground. I like to get as close to the dumbbells as possible, send my booty back. I got a nice flat back. I'm going to lift up these dumbbells by pressing my feet through the ground. So you basically just did a deadlift. Now my feet are shoulder width apart, so I'm going to give you a little angle here. And an RDL, we keep that nice neutral spine. We send our booty back to close the fridge door or whatever door is behind us. Once you feel your hamstrings, you're going to stand up, right? Send your booty back and stand. You want your big toe and your heel pressing into the ground, and baby toe if you're aware of it. So I want you to try 12. Let's get our first round out of the way. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one here, 12. Stand all the way up and then put the dumbbells on the ground. All right, in between the farmer's carry and the RDLs, we have 8 to 10 elevated push-ups. So we love elevated push-ups because you're maintaining the full range of motion of the push-up. You're like, the way to make the push-up easier is to elevate the surface. So this box is from Amazon. If you want it, it's awesome. This is 14 inches, 16 inches. Boom, here's a 16-inch. So you can pick, but I want you to pick a number of reps and a height that you can repeat for 3 rounds. So that's kind of a lot of reps, right? Higher volume on the push-ups. So you might have to elevate the surface. So I'm going to go for, let's say 8 push-ups. I'm working on my push-ups now. And I'm going to go for this surface. This is what this looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Start if you haven't started. We're going to knock out 8 to 10 here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. All right. So now I know, okay, I got to be able to repeat that for at least 2 more rounds. Then you've got a 100-meter farmer's carry. If you're like me and you don't have space right now to do 100 meters farmer carry, think, okay, how long would that take me? Maybe 30 seconds. I'm going to grab my dumbbells and I'm going to walk back and forth for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to pick these up and just walk back and forth in my garage. If you don't have any space, you just start doing this for 30 seconds. Actually, I'll do this with you. So let's pick up the dumbbells. Let's move. We got 30 seconds on the clock. If you want to walk, get to walking. We can walk forwards. We can walk backwards. We got 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. All right, put those dumbbells down. That's round 1. All right. We got 2 more rounds. You got 12 RDLs, 8 to 10 elevated push-ups. If the box doesn't work, use a wall right here. Go at an incline. Totally fine. That works, especially if you're like super new to this. And then we got farmer's carry. Are we ready? Let's go. 2 more rounds. Pick up the dumbbells. Give you a different angle. Here we go. 12 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, put those dumbbells down. All right, 8 to 10 push-ups. Find your elevated surface. Breathe in and out through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, farmer's carry. Oh, I hate when my clock stops. Or better yet, my phone. There we go. The screen locks. All right, farmer's carry, 100 meters, 30 seconds. Walk in place, whatever you got. Breathing in and out through your nose. You're doing great. I know you are. I can feel it. All right. Oh, sorry, y'all. That's been 30 seconds. All right. We got 1 more round. Grab a drink of water if you need it. Take some big breaths, long exhales here. If you need to let something go. All right, pick up the dumbbells. We ready? We moving. 12 RDLs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should have said this earlier, y'all, but I feel like sometimes this is understood, and so this is why I forget to say it. Always, the priority is rib cage on top of pelvis. Even when doing things like RDL deadlifts, now you're moving in this, right? Rib cage is still stacked on top of pelvis. They get a double chin. We're training that neutral spine because we're in this rehab phase. Life does not happen in this neutral spine position all the time, but that's where we start as far as recovery, rehab, rebuilding. We have to lay that foundation. Same thing on push-ups. We're looking for, right, that neutral spine position. And then that gives our diaphragm and our pelvic floor the most optimal range of motion. Let's go for 8. I got 8. I forgot what I was doing. All right, and I'm breathing in and out through my nose. And here we go. So I always get the question, when do I move or when do I exhale? If you want to prioritize anything, especially when you're doing the BIRTHFIT basics, breathe in, expand your ribcage 360 degrees, and then move and brace yourself on that exhale. All right, we got farmer's carries. Ready? Deadlift to pick it up, and then we move. We got about 20 seconds. Less than 10. Right? Even when I'm moving and walking in a farmer's carry, I have a stacked rib cage on top of my pelvis so that I can breathe 360 degrees round. I'm diaphragm breathing here. Right. Good job. Grab some water. We're almost done. We got 2 more sections. The last section is breathing, so we're good. That's the down regulation. We have another section for quality. All the language that we use, so if you're from the CrossFit world, you might have heard like AMRAP, complete for time. We don't do that because that's living in that masculine space. The fitness world is dominated by masculine energy. And y'all, I love my masculine man. I love training on my masculine energy when it's needed. And also at the same time, like we can put feminine energy inside of fitness. So it doesn't always have to be for time, for load, for reps. It can be like for quality, for feel, those kind of things. I know some of you are like, what? But trust me on this, feel it in your body. Just so y'all know, it's in the 90s, 90 degrees here. I'm in Texas, so I'm probably working out in a sauna. Okay, we got kettlebell swings. We got a suitcase carry. So a suitcase carry, it's just like a farmer's carry, but on one side. We got a push press, and we got side plank ups. So this is like a little further along version of the side plank. So I want you to grab a kettlebell that you can swing for 15 times. If you don't have a kettlebell, we're going to use these dumbbells. We'll use one dumbbell. And then same thing, we can use the push press, the dumbbells that we've been using for the push press. So I'm going to grab a kettlebell, but I'll also show you how to do it with the dumbbell, if that's all you got. All right, so if you have a kettlebell and you're newer to fitness and you're unsure on kettlebell swings, the kettlebell starts away from you. You have this nice flat back, you're creating tension so that your feet are in, pushing, pulling into the ground. You pull this kettlebell back towards you. Use your hips to send that thing up. And we got 15. 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at my neutral spine. 13, 14, 15. Boom. Okay, if you've got a dumbbell, you're gonna grab a dumbbell. And I like to kind of overlap my fingers. Stand up nice and tall with it, send your booty back. It's the same motion. Feels a little different because you got a dumbbell. Totally fine. You're working on that hip hinge. So pause it, make sure you get 15 reps. That's our first movement right now. We're going to move on to that suitcase carry. So with the suitcase carry, you can either use the dumbbell that you've been using, or you can use the kettlebell. The suitcase carry is 100 feet, and you're going to switch at that 50-foot mark. So if you don't have that, do 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side. Here we go. We're going to do 30 seconds. One thing I like to think about is this. Try not to let it hit your body. You want to walk with it away from your body. Nice stacked posture. A little harder, eh? All right, we are switching. 3, 2, 1, switch. 30 seconds on the other side. Don't let it hit your leg if you can help it. Less than 10. Breathing in and out through your nose. And rest. So that's our suitcase carry. Next, we got 15 push press. So I'm going to demo the push press. And then we're going to get going on it. Okay. First, I want to show you, if you're new to the push press movement, your feet are right under your hips. Your arms or your dumbbells are going to be right here. The movement literally looks like this. Dip your knees 3 inches, push everything up and squeeze. So you're squeezing your booty, bracing your belly, knees, squeeze. Boom, knees, squeeze, knees, squeeze. Everything is stacked when that weight, that load is overhead. So looks like this. The dumbbells, I'm going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, things I want you to do when you're up. Watch that open alligator mouth, especially if you're coaching somebody. There's a big tendency to do this, right? Especially postpartum. Y'all, I'll do this so you can see more. If we have that open alligator mouth, we are creating a huge kind of yellow flag for extension compression, right? So almost think about putting your tailbone into the ground and bringing that rib cage down. Yes, it's going to activate those upper abs. Great. Get it going. You want literally parallel pelvis rib cage. All right, you got 15. Let's go. I'm going to finish my 10. Breathe through your nose. Whew. Okay. And then side plank ups. 8 and 8 each side. All right, so you can go from your elbow. You're going to do a long side plank, so not our knees. Up. There's 1, 2, 3. All right, do it with me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yo, it's okay if you don't do it from your toes. You can still go from your knees. If you want, if you're feeling super advanced, you can go from your hand. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. All right, we got 2 more rounds. Remember, kettlebell swings, suitcase carry, push press, and then side plank ups. I'll tell y'all after we finish. I was just going to get to talking again, but that's just literally buying time. All right, we got 2 more rounds. I want you to finish this on your own. So you pace yourself as you see appropriate. I want you to try to do all the movements as one segment. If you need to break up the movements, try to do like 8 and 7 or 5, 5 and 5. But try to do them as best you can, as close together, all one effort before moving on to the next movement. All right, we got 2 more rounds. Ready, go. Kettlebell swings. Okay, now farmer's carry. Sometimes I put my hand here to remind myself, like, to breathe into this space. You can do it too. Switch. It's like a cue for me. Five, four, three, two, one. All right. Then push press. Whew. All right. Plank ups. My little anklet's getting in the way. If you're feeling tired or taxed, you can do what I just did and hum on your exhale. All right, I got one more round. Hopefully you do too. You got this. Or quality. Farmer's or suitcase carry. And switch. And rest. Put that down. Push press. Last 15 push press. I know this is overhead stuff is hard. Make sure to take an extra breath if you need. This is for quality. Knees and squeeze. All right. Side plank option. And then we're done with it. 8 and 8. Okay, hit that other side. Done. All right, last bit. We've got 3 to 5 minutes of elevated leg breathing. So, boom, grab that box or whatever you got. You're gonna put your feet and knees up. So, you want it to look like this. Your knees are gonna be externally rotated. Now, you should have a nice relaxed posture. No pressure, like hip flexor pressure, nothing. Like the box has got you. If you need to move up, put more leg on the box, totally fine. This is like the most relaxed way to do this. And all this is diaphragm breathing. So go back to that nasal only breathing and try to inhale all the way down to your booty. And exhale long. You're trying to slow things down now. So the longer the exhales, the better. And once I feel like I'm slowed down enough, I'll give some more cues and feedback here. Inhale, feel your ribcage expand along the ground. You can even put your hands on your womb space. And breathe into your hands. Good, we're almost there. Now, I'm gonna roll to one side. You can keep breathing there. If you have a little bit of back pain, a little nagging, I do want to show something. You can take a block or like a true foam roller, like where it's foam. You can put your feet and knees on this box, kind of like 90-90, and just lightly hold on to this. Like my inside of my knees are just holding up. So get along here. Now you're kind of opening up that sacrum, and you're gonna breathe the same way. Breathe into your womb space, your booty, and long exhale. Breathe into that rib cage. It's totally up to you. Obviously, the first version is the most relaxed version of that down regulation. And then you can evolve from there. All right, y'all. So those of you that are live here, questions, any questions you got, you can unmute yourself. You can throw them in the chat box. And I'm gonna just start talking about some common questions I get. feedback, that kind of thing. But feel free to throw them in the chat box or unmute yourself. All right, the first thing I want to say is overall, even with me chatting and demoing and pausing, that was less than 50 minutes. We've designed all of our training sessions. So whether it be BIRTHFIT Basics Postpartum, the Postpartum Training Program, the Prenatal Training Program, the Prenatal Basics Program, all of it, each session is designed to be under 45 minutes with minimal equipment. So you notice that I used dumbbells, an elevated surface like a box, and a kettlebell. I didn't even have to have a kettlebell. I didn't even have to have a box. I could have used a step. I could have used an ottoman. I really could have used anything. So all in all, very minimal equipment, very minimal time commitment. Next thing I'll say about our entire postpartum plan. After working with women for over a decade in this space, we came up with the ideal timeline. And the ideal timeline would be a line-in period. And we have a line-in program that's $15 that starts with gentle breathing exercises, posture work, things like that, super gentle. You can start with that for 4 weeks, 30 days. So a line-in period, basically a rest period, like honor that, that's sacred. If you do that, that'll take you through the first month postpartum. Then you would start the postpartum basics program, which is 4 weeks or 30 sessions. This can be done every day or every other day. I did it every other day, mainly because at the time my husband was working nights and my mental and emotional capacity was just taxed, y'all. Physically, I felt like I was great, but I did not want to push it anymore. I did not want to rush my healing. You know, a big phrase we say within postpartum is slow is fast. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. Embrace that slow is fast mindset, because I knew I would not get that time period back. So that took me through 3 months postpartum. If you do it every day, it'll take you through the end of your second month postpartum. And that's totally fine. That's like what Coach Leah did. Once you're done with that, then you would start the postpartum training program, like what we did here. Reminder, we did week 2, day 1 here. If you feel like, and this is, I would say, just like a small, maybe less than half of the women feel like they're not quite ready for postpartum training yet, but they want to go beyond the BIRTHFIT basics, this is my recommendation. Take the last 2 weeks of the basics, which is definitely increased volume and reps, and we're pushing the capacity there. Take those last 2 weeks, grab a small set of dumbbells like 2.5s, 5s, small plates, or even ankle or wrist weights, and use those. Now you're starting to use a little bit of load, challenge your system a little bit. That totally works. And I did that a little bit before I moved on to postpartum training. So we really put this like ideal, optimal, I don't even know, minimal baseline, because we don't want you to speed it up, really. We want you to honor that slow is fast. We've worked with the best soccer players in the world, the best runners, and absolutely, it's absolutely necessary for all women to embrace this slow is fast mindset postpartum and to not rush healing. For instance, this soccer player wanted to be back in August for the Olympics. She gave birth in May. She was ready. She was ready come August. I promise you, you don't need to rush anything. You know, we live in a culture that is like very fast paced, very productive oriented. And there's no reason to rush. It needs to be a time to honor this sacred, like rite of passage experience, all of it, because we're not going to get it back. And the last thing I'll say on that is that, you know, the postpartum period is a really beautiful opportunity to reset, to recalibrate, And we as women get this opportunity after each child. So we can reset our biomechanics, our breathing patterns, whatever. And sometimes injuries, old nagging injuries vanish, and that's beautiful. Men don't get this opportunity. We do, which is really cool. So I want you to have that positive lens on the postpartum side of things. Let's see if I missed anything. I mentioned in the beginning that we're going to have a sale on all of our programs starting June 26th going through July 6th, so a big 4th of July sale. We have a sale about 3 times a year. So that's our big summer one. We have a Mother's Day sale, July 4th, and then usually a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever you want to call it, sale. Yeah. All right. I know we got 1 minute. Bye, Amanda. If you have any questions, let me know. I got to sign off pretty quickly. So y'all let me know if anything comes up. Reply back to this email because I know you're going to get this in a recording, or email us info@birthfit.com. But this was an awesome sample day of the postpartum training program. And I really hope you enjoy the app experience because we put a lot of work into it last year. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of this sauna that is my garage in the middle of Central Texas. Thank you, Maggie. And y'all have a wonderful week, and I will see y'all soon.